way of saying it. Who else has a question?
Pleiadians, hello.
Hello. You are?
David.
David, welcome. What's your question?
I heard today that there's great problems in the Anu world.
Yes, there are.
Pardon?
There are.
Yep. 25 years ago, the probability was very high that Lizzie would show up to the planet, present himself as God, and the rest of the world would say, yes, this is God. Has that probability changed?
Where did that probability come from?
Us, I guess.
We are not clear on what you are asking at all.
Well, it was disturbing that a Lizzie would actually show up in the flesh.
A Lizzie, you're talking about reptilian beings?
Yeah.
How about being really clear so everyone understands what you are saying?
An Anu lizard being would show up in physical form as God and tell us how he created all of us, and then the rest of us would fall down and worship him as God.
And so you are asking...
What's the probability of that happening now? Maybe it's decreased.
The Anus have been in conflict, of course, about their plans, and as you understand their time sequence, they may take 50 years to pull things off, which is just a few days to them. You follow? 15 years is a day and a half. So 50 years is not long, but you could be long gone by the time they fulfill some of their agendas. What we can say is that by 2027, it appears that the systems that you have been a part of are completely poofed. That there will be depopulation, conflicts, perhaps governmental overthrows, perhaps so much turmoil that it's difficult to see at this point how the props will come out. We believe that you are asking, would Anu return or Enki return in reptilian form to say, I am the creator God you have been praying to? Is that what you are asking?
Yes, it is.
All right, it took us a while to get that out there. It's probable, yes, it's probable. It's probable. Would you be prepared for it? No, not at all. It's not something that the human mind is presently capable of accepting. This is why our vehicle quoted George Bush #1 when he said, someone asked him, are you going to tell us the truth about UFOs? And he said, the people of Earth are not ready for it. That's a big indication. Now, in terms of reptilian energy, the big honcho, the big in charge being that all people worship and turn to for thousands of years in China was the dragon. All over the Far East, it is the reptiles and the dragons. The dragon is how it is appeared, the dragon. Look today at how many people, men and women, have begun to cover their body with what you call paintings, permanent paintings, that have a sort of a reptilian feel to them. Some of them literally have scale-like images implied. There is definitely a raising of this serpent reptilian awareness. The gods of South America, Anunnaki, of course, one of the sons of Enki of Africa, Enki's son Nin-Gishzida, was sent with his giants, his team of miners, that they were later called the Olmecs, but they came into the Toltec region of the Americas, and they began to cultivate civilizations, build ports, but they were mining for gold. They were definitely mining. And they are still interested in gold. And there are countries today, Russia, China, India, who have made very big pronouncements about how much gold they have in their vaults. Recently, the state of Texas withdrew $1 billion worth of gold bullion from the Federal Reserve. The feds don't like Texas, not at all. Texas and a few other places are ready to do splitsky. It's happening all over the world, and those in the know are recognizing that gold not only is going to be the new dollar standard, it's going to be a return to Anunnaki type of a value system, but the Anunnakis are going to honor the countries who have the most gold. All over India, it is all about serpents, reptiles, and women with many arms, and humans with elephant heads. And what do you think all this is? Enlil's daughter, Inanna, sometimes called Ishtar, it was actually his granddaughter. And she would be the great-granddaughter of Anu. But when he visited, he had what you call a congress with her. And she became a favorite of her great-grandfather Anu, and he gave her the Indus Valley. Today you call that Pakistan. Seems to us there's all kinds of problems there as well. And she owned India. And if you look at the Hindu culture and the various caste systems, and you look at the genetic engineering, she appealed to her uncle, Enki, who had his laboratories in East Africa, and they started again to experiment. Is it likely that one of those reptilian gods will appear in reptilian form because of the age shift and change? Likely, but it could be not in your lifetime, because for them it's a few days or weeks. For you, it may be decades. However, we will say that you are going to be confronted sooner rather than later with the worldwide recognition that there are craft in the skies. And there's going to be a lot of confusion and false stories put out, and then it could be that a false war is started as if UFOs, bad UFOs, are attacking you. And then, dum-da-da-dum-dum-dum, the saviors come. But it is staged. Do you follow this? Mm-hmm. Because in some way, some of these Anunnakis know that it's time to have revelation. And they can do things. They can mess things up in an extraordinary way. But they can fix things very quickly if they want to. Yet they still need humans to do their work on Earth, to build for them, to put this in place. It seems to us that you have had in your Neptunian glamours, you call them films and TV shows, but they are all set to confuse you and entertain you, that there have been reptilian beings portrayed as kings, yes? Yes. And as gods and regal beings. This is all preparation and revelation of the method. But yet, will it all come down? Everything now is a wild card. And even the Anus are not sure if their plans are going to be implemented, because they rely on humans to implement them. And if there's one characteristic that all you humans have in common, it's your saving grace. You are totally unpredictable. You can be those stuck cows in the field for millions of years, and then suddenly you decide to stand up on your hind legs. This is what keeps you so valuable and yet a befuddlement to many celestials. All right, that question we trust is addressed. Who has